It's that time again. So how have I done this week? This week I have lost 1.08%, and my three comparators have done quite a bit better than me. That result confused me a little bit because I hadn't really seen that in my sort of daily monitoring of things. And I think I realised why. I think it's because. So I think, off the top of my head, I think it's because the UK market closes at 11:30 US time. Well, New York time anyway. So if we look here, that's about there, so somewhere around there. And as we can see, from 11:30 in the morning US time or New York time to the close, which is 9 p.m. It's about 9 p.m. It went up by 1.37%. So I guess we can assume that also the world, like a global sort of tracker, would also do the same. And as we can see, the things I'm benchmarking myself against, yeah, they all value themselves at 9 p.m, which is about, I think that's what that. Either way, it's later in the day anyway, compared to whereas most of my holdings stop trading at 4:30 in the afternoon UK time. This gets valued later in the evening. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a pointless thing to point out. It's just that I just happened to be a bit confused because I hadn't seen that sort of happening throughout the week. The thing is that the reverse could easily have been happening in every other week for all I know. So that I'm sure there's plenty a week where the reverse happened. And in fact, the reverse should happen to some extent next week, because obviously any boost that happens on Monday will show up in next week's performance for me, but it won't show up in the performance of the three benchmarks that I'm using here. As you can see, I'm now behind Life Strategy 80 since the 6th of October, so that didn't last long, did it? And obviously there's the disclaimer, I've done terribly compared to my benchmarks since 2017. So let's have a look where that performance came from. I remember Scottish Mortgage doing particularly badly this week. All of the they call them momentum stocks, don't they? All of those things that were doing very well recently have come off the boil. So yeah, down by almost 6% for Scottish Mortgage. The banks are doing pretty damn well. I'm now 20% up for NatWest and 10% up for Barclays. I have been holding them for like, I don't know, is it 11 years? Over a decade anyway, I've been holding these two. I have sold, like trimmed them from time to time as well, but yeah, they're finally coming good. And yeah, all of these energy ones seem to have done pretty good, renewable energy ones. But the opposite for the property. And I'll show you the Fundsmith ones as well. There they are. Alphabet's done badly. Nothing else really stands out. And CrowdStrike, again, it's still coming down from its highs. That is one of those momentum stocks that's come off the boil recently. And I forgot to go through the dividends again. And here they are. You've already seen them anyway. 628 quid for the week. Quite a high one. There was supposed to be a Henderson International paid yesterday, but it didn't come through, so that'll boost next week's instead. Yeah, so there we go. Pretty good week. Let's have a look at the news, shall we? So GSK announced that they were commencing the share buyback. This is something that I forgot to mention when the final results came out, that as well as the dividend increase, they also announced a 2 billion share buyback program, which we can see here will last for 18 months. So if we divide that by 3 and multiply it by 2, that's 1.33 billion a year. On a market cap of about 60 billion, is about 2.2% of the market cap is being bought back per year. So kind of like a shareholder return, I think they call it, in quotes, just from cash on GSK is going to be now, it's that number plus 0.0435, which is the current yield. Yeah, so about, just in terms of cash going back to shareholders in the dividend and in the share buybacks, that's about a 6.5% yield on GSK, which is pretty nifty. Anyway, yes, I just thought I'd mention that, and then obviously they then start to have announcements pretty much every day of them buying back the shares, which I don't bother putting in my videos because they're kind of every day. And then the next bit of news was from GSF. I can't actually remember what this was. Let's have a look. So there's been some assets that have been energised, and then ITC update. investment tax credits, that is. While Trump administration has taken action regarding the permitting of onshore and offshore wind, no action has been taken regarding investment tax credits. External legal counsel has also advised that there has been no change to the eligibility of the company's projects. Okay, so they're just reiterating that they're confident in getting these tax credits for the US stuff they've built and put online. And at the same time, they announced a fact sheet for Gore Street Energy. I can't remember why I linked this. I wonder if there's something specific in here that I wanted to just show you. I can't remember. Yeah, I don't think there is really. I think maybe I just linked it in the documents just so we could see a couple of pictures. I don't know. Harmony Energy, they had their final results released this week, and then they do talk about a dividend policy as well. So if this sale they're trying to make happen doesn't happen, it's kind of their estimate of what might happen if the sale doesn't go through. Yeah, so here it is. They're saying here that their kind of estimate is a covered dividend of about 4 pence per share in relation to the current financial year. 0.04 pence per year share, which is about a 6.1% yield that we would have if they just carried on. But they do talk about that's if the sale doesn't happen, other options will be looked into anyway. So I think the probability of that happening is quite slim. In a similar manner, there was also this other update, which is kind of more up to date, I think, rather than this is a financial report for the full year, but this is more up to date. And this is where they told us about the NAV going up recently. So at the 31st of January, the NAV is 92.38 pence, which is a 3.86% increase, 4.36% compared to October. Yeah, like I say, when we compare that to the Gore Street Energy one, it's not really a fair comparison because Gore Street Energy is paying a massive dividend, so that gets stripped out of the NAV when it's paid. So this company does have an advantage in that all of their cash flow is staying within the company at the moment. Yeah, and they just talk through the portfolio revenues. I think we've probably got a bit of a peak in this one. They've had unexpectedly good cash flow, I think, which is based on the weather. So it's not. This is the thing with these. They're very. They fluctuate a lot in their earnings because it's all weather dependent and their batteries being operational, as we can see. They have outages. These things do. I don't know what causes them exactly, but it all depends on how much they can keep their assets operational and how the weather affects the prices and how the gas price affects the prices of what they can buy and sell electricity for. So yeah, I think this is probably why they're also lowly valued, because the revenues are so they fluctuate and things that are outside of their control as well. It's kind of the opposite to what the likes of Terry Smith wants in his investments. He's ultra focused on getting predictable revenue, whereas things like this are completely unpredictable. But I'm happy to take that unpredictability for the low valuation. Possibly. Yeah, here we go. 57% higher. The 9.7 million revenues was 57% higher than the previous quarter. But yeah, other than that, it's just waiting for March the 10th to see what might happen on the sale. But I guess we'll just wait and see what happens. Yeah, here we go. 3 pence of that 3.86 pence is just the cash flow coming. And obviously, if this was a high yielder like the other one that I own, that would have all just gone in the dividend. So it's not like they're doing better than Gore Street Energy by masses. It's just that they're not paying a dividend. Anyway, that's the update we got from Harmony Energy, and that's it, I think, for the week. I've not much else to say, so I'll leave it there, and I'll let you be for the week. Have fun. Goodbye.